vision for the whole of Africa, short term or long term?
Really, we've had enough of this Africa of conflicts and war. That must come to an end. Exactly. And we've had enough of this, of an African continent of corrupt people who take power and then steal resources, and millions of people are hungry. Enough of an African continent of military dictators. So it says, according to the law, all member states of the African Union are required to have democratic governments and this and that, and so it's all spelled out. So we want to build that kind of continent so that the peoples on our continent, they don't have these problems of the past. Plus, address this matter of poverty and underdevelopment. We've got to overcome a lot of bad history of the continent. And the truth of the matter is that there are people on the continent who grew up in an earlier period, and they're accustomed to precisely the forms of government against which were opposed, to which were opposed. We would think that you become a president of a country so that you can have access to the resources and you put them in your pockets. Exactly. In truth, I'm saying there are people who grew up during that period and they still think now that the fact that I'm sitting in some senior position, it gives me access to these resources. But the African Union in the Constitutive Act is saying that that must come to an end.
Yes. Is this all part of your African Renaissance?
Yes, very much so. I mean, the word might look complicated. It really, we are saying, it's an African rebirth. To say that we must handle ourselves and do whatever needs to be done so that we give birth to a new Africa. Yes. Of peace, of stability, of prosperity. An Africa which, you've had a situation where a lot of people in the world, when they think of the African continent, they think of famine. You see these pictures on television, little children with bones sticking out because there's drought and there's no food and so on. So the conception develops that Africa is that place where you must always give donations, welfare. These people are beggars. They're poor, they can't do anything for themselves. And we're saying that, no, we must change that. Africa cannot be like that. We're not out there with begging bowls. These are very proud people on this continent, very proud history. We say that here is a cradle of humanity. All humanity originated from here. Yes. And now how can we end up as sort of holding out begging bowls? So an African Renaissance is a rebirth of Africa where the African people will really reassert their humanity and their dignity.